Hey, what is up guys, Wavy Films here, and today I have another custom LEGO minifigure showcase for you guys. And for the showcase, I have the Losers Club from It. So I was working on these guys since I was working on these guys for maybe the past 2 weeks, and I finally have all 7 done. I do want to tell you guys that, I'm just really busy, so I don't have time to work on figures, which is why these guys were out so late. So I'm just going to move that forward a bit, but that's why these guys the movie was 3 weeks ago. I started them after I saw the movie, and yeah, so I've been working on these guys nonstop since I saw the movie. So yeah, finally have them all done, and I hope you guys really like them. Sorry for not having anything up last week, just because I didn't have anything to show. So yeah, I guess we'll get into it. So to start off, we have Eddie Brack. So he was kind of one of the last figures that I actually finished. I mean, he's pretty simple. The main thing I wanted to get for these kids was likeness, because obviously they're all just wearing generic clothing. Like, it wasn't that hard to do their clothing. So the likeness was like the main thing I had to try and get for these figures, and I think I nailed it on all of them. So here's Eddie. So the shirt is just dark red, and on all the characters I did do a wash just to kind of give it texture. The main thing about Eddie is his cast, his loser cast. So I just sculpted that and then painted the word loser and then a red V over the S, which you can't really see that well, but it's there. And for a couple of the figures I did shorten their legs. As you can see, I did it pretty extremely for Eddie. And the paint scratching off my back, fuck. But yeah, so I did I did shorten his legs. I shortened the legs for everybody except for Stan, Mike, and Beverly. They're the only figures I didn't shorten legs for. So yeah, that's Eddie. Next we have Bill. So he also, as you can tell, has shortened legs, and for some reason there's a lot of procreate in that one foot, so he doesn't want to stand on the stud that well. But there we go. I think he's probably one of my better ones in terms of likeness to the actor. And for some reason, not a lot of people agreed with me on this, but the actor who plays Bill reminds me so much of Sean, Darren Customs. Doesn't make figures anymore, but you can go check out his account on Instagram. And yeah, I don't know why, just the way he talked and the way he looked, he just sounded like my friend Sean, Daring Customs. Nobody agreed with me, but I was like, he just reminds me so much of Sean. Anyway, that's just kind of a side note. Again, pretty simple, just literally clothes. With just most of these figures, like, they weren't that hard to do, they were just clothes. And yeah, I did a dark brown wash to kind of make his clothes dirty, because they were, you know, in the sewers. Next we have my favorite character, Richie. I also shortened his legs a bit shorter than Bill's. He does have a baseball bat, because that's what he grabbed at the end of the film to hit Pennywise. So I just gave him this Brick Arms baseball bat. Also, if you couldn't tell, I kind of went with all of their designs, or their clothes that they wear during the final battle. During the final scene of it, or not the final scene, but their final confrontation with Pennywise. Just FYI, in case you didn't know. So yeah, I just painted all the designs on, simply just all these blue palm trees. And yeah, washed it in dark brown to give it dirty. And the eyes, or the glasses, I have to give a shout out to my friend Dan, aka Kaiju Dan, because he gave me the suggestion for sculpting on the lenses and painting his eyes bigger, which I was planning on doing because his glasses do magnify his eyes so they look a bit bigger, which is why I painted his eyes bigger than a normal figure. The original plan was to use the Robin the mask piece, hairpiece, whatever it is, the Robin from the Lego Batman movie, and I just didn't end up using that, and I ended up going with this, so thanks, Dan. And the hairpiece is the surfer hairpiece, and I did cut off and sand down the front, just because it wouldn't have fit over the glasses if it wasn't cut down. So yeah, that's Richie. Next, we have my boy Stan. I didn't shorten his legs because he was one of the taller dudes. Okay, that zoomed in too much. He was one of the taller ones, so I didn't shorten his legs. I don't know, he's pretty simple. Just a red torso, dry brushed in dark red to give it texture, and the pockets E-tape. The hairpiece, which a lot of people were asking, is the Hobbit hairpiece. Actually, I'll just leave that on. I sanded the crap out of the sides of it, and I cut a corner out of it, because he does have kind of this whole part of his hair that's really heavy that goes over the one side. So I just did that by cutting the hair and then sanding it on this side. And when I cut it, it went into the stud itself, so I'd have to sculpt over that part. And I just dropped his hairpiece. There we go. So yeah, that's Stan, and the head was Legolas, and yeah, Stan. Next, we have my boy Ben. He's probably my favorite figure out of these, just the way he turned out. So I did shorten his legs just about as short as I did Eddie's, because he's a short boy. I sculpted onto the torso because he's obviously, you know, bigger, and I also cut off the neck because, again, bigger, and it's a good way to allude to that is to cut off the neck. The hairpiece is this generic hairpiece, which at first I wasn't sure about using because it doesn't have, like, any, like, texture to it, like, for example, this hairpiece or this hairpiece. It's just kind of flat, but it does work for Ben, his hairstyle. The head, I think, was a Chris Pratt head, yeah, and I just painted a new mouth. Not much to do, his torso was actually kind of weird design. It was like animals, and then there was like a sunset behind it, so I just painted some like gray and black lines. But yeah, that's Ben, and like I said, probably my favorite out of all these figures. Next, we have Beverly. So, she was one of the first I finished. I think I finished Bill first, and then I finished her. The hair is the Hobbit hair, dry brush in brown. The head was a Sharon Carter head. And yeah, you can see I didn't actually finish painting all the dots. Because, to be honest, I forgot to. Because I was like halfway through painting them, and then I started on the next figure, and then I just kind of forgot. And, I mean, I will finish them, but I did want to get this video up, so sorry for the incomplete fake. And yeah, then her necklace on here is sculpted, the gold part of her necklace, and I mean, yeah, not much else to say. The skirt is not like a Kate Madness skirt or anything. It's actually just glued onto the hip piece, just a piece of fabric glued on. So yeah, that's Beverly. And last but not least, Mike Hanlon. Yeah, it's Mike. I keep thinking it's either Mike or Mark, but it's Mike. I gave him this piece, which is supposed to represent the pipe, because also in the last battle he like grabs a pipe and hits Pennywise with it, so I gave him that. He's probably the most simple out of them. He's the last one I finished, just paint a simple collar and shoes, and his Finn hair piece, and I gave him Finn, I think it's Finn's head, or just the generic Star Wars Black Dude head. I can't remember if it's the Finn head or not, but anyway, I think it works for his expression and his character. So, yeah. Next week, I guess this is it. Next week, I hope to have my own version of the Justice League up. I'm not sure if I'll finish them because, for those of you who don't know, I'm on my high school football team, and I have a lot of homework and stuff that I probably should be doing right now. So, yeah, football is every day after school, 3 till 5, and then by the time I get home, have a shower, eat supper, it's like 8 o'clock, and then I only have about an hour to actually work on figures a day. So that's why these figures in particular took so long, and I didn't have anything last week, because these figures and my Justice League figures, I don't want to showcase or post a picture of them until they're all completed, and I want to post them as a group. So I do have to wait until I finish all the figures, which is why it took so long. So Justice League hopefully next week, if not next week, definitely the week after. After that, I will be getting back to work on Infinity War. I've been on a break for like a month and a half now. I should probably start up back on those so I get those figures done for the movie. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. Be sure to leave in the comments which of these figures was your favorite, and also your thoughts on the movie. I really liked it. I didn't even get scared that much. There was a couple jump scares that got me, but the film itself was actually really good. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out all my social media down in the description where I post these figures way before I get around to posting them on YouTube. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.